Hello everyone, welcome back to The Chelsea Show, your home for the latest Chelsea updates, transfer news and deep football analysis. If you're a Blue, this is where you belong. Today we dive into a story that has been quietly heating up behind the scenes at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's long-term admiration for Aston Villa sensation Morgan Rogers, a player whose rise this season has been impossible to ignore. Chelsea now find themselves at a point where a major transfer decision is looming, because Morgan Rogers is no longer just a promising talent. They're watching one of the Premier League's fastest rising stars evolve in real time, and with the form he's showing, waiting too long could mean missing out on a player who fits the Blues' attacking blueprint perfectly. Rogers has been nothing short of exceptional for Aston Villa this season. The 23-year-old England international has emerged as one of the league's standout performers, helping fuel a Villa side that has been blazing through opponents with intensity, creativity and clinical finishing. 7 Premier League goals so far, including 4 in his last 2, tell part of the story. But it's the timing, movement and confidence behind those goals that truly show why top clubs are paying attention. Chelsea have been tracking Rogers for a long time. His name was seriously discussed during the summer window, but even then there was an understanding that Villa's valuation might be too high. And now? His stock has skyrocketed. After signing a new contract at Villa Park just last month, his price tag will be even steeper, and Aston Villa will have absolutely no intention of letting him leave cheaply, if at all. But for a club with Chelsea's vision, that shouldn't be a deal breaker. The goal at Stamford Bridge is clear. Build a young, elite, long-term squad capable of competing at the highest level for years to come. And Morgan Rogers fits that strategy perfectly. This season, Unai Emery has predominantly used him as a left winger in a 4-2-3-1 system, and he has thrived in that role. Rogers combines pace, power, and technical quality with intelligent decision-making in the final third. He cuts inside aggressively, drives at defenders with confidence, and has become a reliable goal threat. His blend of physicality and finesse makes him difficult to defend, and his versatility is arguably his biggest asset. Chelsea already have strong young options on the left in Alejandro Garnacho and Jamie Gittins, but that should not prevent the club from exploring an upgrade. For a team with ambitions to return to Europe's elite level, adding more top-tier firepower is never a bad idea. Chelsea know this, and they know Rogers could potentially give them something unique, a winger who can also operate naturally as a number 10. This positional flexibility is part of why the interest feels so strong and so long-term. If Chelsea eventually secure him, he wouldn't come in as just another wide player. He would be a multi-role attacking weapon. And with Cole Palmer carrying a huge creative load on his shoulders, having someone who can both support and occasionally replace him in that central creative role would be invaluable. There's also the personal connection. Enzo Maresca worked with Rogers during their time at Manchester City's academy. Although Rogers didn't feature heavily under him, he remembers that period clearly. In an interview with The Athletic, he spoke highly of Maresca's coaching style, praising the Italian's balance between structure and player freedom. That familiarity could play a subtle but meaningful role in Chelsea's approach. Joe Shields, Chelsea's co-director of recruitment and talent, is another key figure. He also worked with Rogers earlier in Manchester and is believed to remain an admirer of the player's potential. When 2 major decision-makers at the club have respected history with a player, the interest becomes even more credible. Of course, a January move is unrealistic. Villa will not want to disrupt their season, and Chelsea will not pay over the odds in a rushed mid-season negotiation. The summer, however, presents a very different opportunity. Chelsea know they will need more depth, more creativity, and more goals next season. Rogers offers all 3. And then there's the off-pitch chemistry factor. Rogers and Cole Palmer, Chelsea's current superstar, are close friends. Their bond, their shared swagger, and even their synchronised cold celebration are already part of Premier League culture. Bringing Rogers to Stamford Bridge would not only strengthen the attack, but also reunite 2 players who naturally elevate each other. When you connect all the dots, his form, his versatility, his ties with Maresca and Shields, his friendship with Palmer, it becomes increasingly clear why Chelsea's interest in Rogers has never faded, and why the club may eventually have to make a decisive move. Chelsea need a player like Morgan Rogers, and sooner or later, the Blues may decide that the wait is over. Chelsea have moved decisively, cleared the financial path, and effectively sealed the arrival of one of England's brightest young midfield talents, Kobbie Mainoo. Chelsea's season so far has been nothing short of eventful. After a chaotic start, Enzo Maresca's side have gradually adapted to his ideas and now sit comfortably inside the Premier League's top four. The summer signings have done plenty of heavy lifting, especially Juan Pedro, who has offered goals and maturity up front. Estevao has already announced himself as one of the league's most exciting young wingers, while Jamie Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho have added the sort of depth and dynamism that Chelsea fans have been craving for years. The squad looks young, energetic, and hungry, exactly what the new direction of the club represents. But as every Chelsea supporter knows, this project is far from complete. January is always a strategic moment, and Chelsea once again plan to be among the busiest operators in the window. This time, however, the focus is not just on spending, it is on balancing the squad, opening financial space, and ensuring that Maresca has the right profile of players to execute his system. And that's where the situation surrounding Raheem Sterling becomes crucial. Sterling, once one of the highest profile signings in Premier League history, has found himself completely out of Maresca's plans. The winger was close to leaving for Fulham on deadline day in the summer, but the deal collapsed in the final moments. Now, Chelsea have revisited their stance, and it is widely accepted within the club that Sterling will be the first outgoing business of the January window. His salary, £325,000 per week, is by far the highest in the squad, and with limited playing time and no route back into the starting Simpan, the club believes moving him on is the best step for both sides. At 31, Sterling still has plenty to offer, and interest from clubs like Fulham and Crystal Palace shows that there is demand for him in the Premier League. Whether it is a permanent sale or a loan with wages covered, Chelsea are determined to remove his enormous salary from their books before turning fully toward incoming business. This financial shift is not just about trimming the wage bill. It directly opens the door for Kobbie Mainoo's arrival. Mainoo's situation at Manchester United has been one of the surprises of the season. After becoming an England hero at Euro 2024 and scoring the FA Cup winning goal for United last season, many expected him to be a guaranteed starter. But under new manager Ruben Amorim, Mainoo has struggled for minutes. His request for a loan move during the summer was denied, but the player's frustration has continued to grow, and multiple reports now confirm that he has been seeking a January exit. Chelsea sensed the opportunity early and have been tracking the situation closely. With Sterling's departure clearing a massive financial burden, the club have moved swiftly to get a deal in place. United were originally open only to a loan, but with Chelsea preparing a substantial permanent bid, the Red Devils were forced into reconsidering. Because Mainoo is a homegrown player, any fee for him counts as pure profit under FFP, which made Chelsea's offer extremely tempting for United's board. Just as they did with Garnacho in the summer, Chelsea have taken advantage of tension between a talented youngster and the uncertain environment at Old Trafford. By offering Mainoo a clear project, regular minutes, and a midfield role perfectly suited to his skill set, Chelsea have convinced the 19-year-old that Stamford Bridge is the ideal place to elevate his career. With the final paperwork expected to be completed as soon as Sterling's exit is announced, Chelsea view the Mainoo deal as effectively done. Maresca is said to be thrilled, as Mainoo gives him the type of profile he has been pushing for, a press-resistant, intelligent, technical midfielder who can operate in tight spaces, break lines, and transition the ball quickly from defence to attack. Mainoo fits the vision of Chelsea's young core perfectly and adds yet another elite English talent to the squad. For Chelsea fans, this move signals more than just another signing. It signals ambition, strategic planning, and a commitment to building a long-term midfield capable of dominating Europe. And with Mainoo joining a group of young stars already thriving at the Bridge, the future has never looked brighter.